Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to EML. It's Premier 2, and we are in the Circuit of Americas in Austin. It's the American Grand Prix, and this is round 9 of 10 of Season 4. Really at the business end of this season now, where these results really are needed to get the positions that teams would like to finish in, especially those fighting for the championship. I'm your commentator tonight. My name is Lesty. I was missing last week, took a bit of a break due to a bit of a cough, bit of a health and other personal reasons, but I'm very, very glad to be back here for you all and commentating on this one. Unfortunately, no one beside me this evening, so you're going to have to make do with me. What I will do is ask, please like the stream. It goes a long way, and it helps us all out here at EML and League Racing TV. So I want to see those likes coming in. I appreciate them all. Get the comments rolling in, predictions, thoughts, anything. Just give me a bit of chat. I'm on my own tonight, so please do give me anything to sort of interact with you guys as we see ERT Kieran getting his lap underway. He's the first one to be setting a timed lap. And also, before I forget, make sure you subscribe to League Racing TV so you don't miss any of the streams. We've got EML Premier 1 and 2 tonight. And you've also got the PC division that recently started a couple of weeks ago. So make sure you subscribe so don't miss out on any of those, especially not the final round of races next week. So subscribe to the channel. So here we go. Kieran is in the second sector of his lap now. Again, Kieran winning in the rerun of Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix, because we had issues on the first go. We had a rerun and Kieran won again, and that's now 4 races in a row that he has now won here. He's on an unbelievable streak. He's actually won 5 races this season out of 8. Just shows you how well he's currently driving at the moment, the pace that he brings. And he's been clawing ERT back in the standings. We'll go through the standings shortly, but we'll just see all these first initial times come through as we see at 1:32.4 here. I'm not too sure. I didn't really get a chance to have a check on what we're going to be sort of looking for as the pole lap. So we're just going to have to sort of see, unless anyone in the comments can make me aware, as we see RCR Tipple get a 1:34. A new team that I haven't seen here. They must have come in last week, but it's good to see. Good to see new teams coming into the competition. We'd like to see new names coming in and making a name for themselves in the community. It's great to see. It's the community going. ERT Timo going just behind his teammate. Leighton is off the track further back. JR Damage is going to go right in between the ERT men. Just misses out on getting into the 32s. I see, I believe, it's not Evans Joshua, it is Sieb. Starting a lap, maybe he invalidated that one. BNLRE guys are getting up into the top 10. One goes King, is up there. His teammate Pasanama has just gone in behind him. VRT Dirt coming up to the line. He goes second driver to go into the 1:32s here. 1:32.8. He's still about half a second off of Kieran, showing already how quick that time is for him. As Max Geist invalidates his attempt. Kyoto Raikyo is back, aka Dara, someone who's competed quite well with Kieran, with Kieran this season. So it'll be interesting to see what his competitive time is once he gets that on the board. I think Sieb is the first of the ones left out there currently doing their runs for IRT. It does say WOR Sieb. I believe he joined WOR briefly for 2 or 3 days and decided it's not the same as IRT. He prefers the family feel, which I do not blame him at all. It's nice to have a good sort of feel of the team around you instead of just the quality of team. As we see, Leighton puts in his competitive time of 1:34.1, so he's up on the board. Everyone else is either on an outlap or in the pits at the moment. As we see, Max Geest, I don't think he's pushing, no, he's backed off, so I assume he's going to come to the pits. Who's furthest round of these guys on their outlaps? It looks like it'll be Hookie, so we'll stick Hookie, the Red Dragon Racing driver. But yeah, last week in Netherlands, Kieran won. BNLRE iShawk came in second, and VRT Max Geest came in third. VRT doing quite fairly well recently, actually, getting a good few results under their belt. Sorry if you tuned into my stream 2 weeks ago. I believe it was Singapore. I had a bit of a cough. I've still got slight bit of cough there, so apologies if that comes through on the stream. But the current standings, ERT for the first time this season have taken top spot off of QRT. QRT has been in first place ever since round 1, and they are now 6 points behind. So ERT first place, 256 points, with QRT on 250 points. It's only a 6-point difference. So these two races are absolutely crucial, these final 2 races. JR Racing in third. They're still sitting there nicely in third, 218 points. They're just a little bit off. They're not out of it, but they need some things to go their way, and they need to get some really strong results in to be within a chance of winning. VRT, who I mentioned earlier, doing quite well in fourth, 195 points. BNL Racing team are behind them by 5 points. What's going on here? Is Dirk stuck? Have I lagged out? What's happened here? Are we getting anything through? Man, this game is brilliant. Yeah, I think we've got an issue. Looks like we're going to have to quit this one. That is really annoying. Yeah, the Alpine and the Ferrari, JR Might has just said to me, the Alpine and Ferrari are having a bit of fun there, a bit of explicit. We should blur that out. Not sure what was going on there. We're gonna hopefully get another lobby set up. I haven't actually checked any of your comments yet. I do apologise, everyone. I'm sort of just trying to get you involved in the sort of standings at the moment. Where is the Premier 2 stream? Here it is. Lovely. 3 likes already. That is good. Just keep going with the likes, guys. I know it's not nothing to like right now, but this is where we are. We've said it numerous times. Not in a good state. It hasn't been ever since it was released, and it seems to just be an ongoing trend at the moment with F1 games. So we have a new lobby. Just be slightly patient with us. We've got to get everyone back in. Unfortunately, qualifying wasn't done, so qualifying is going to have to be redone. Which is annoying, because if we had qualifying done, at least we could just get straight into the race. But this is the situation we've been dealt with. We're just going to have to get on with it, give it another go. We make sure every time, the sort of policy that we run by is if we have an issue, we do a restart, and then if that restart then has another issue, we then debate whether it's worth doing another restart, because these guys obviously have things other than playing this F1 game and competing in this competition to do, such as people like revising for exams and all of this. They've got to be up early for work, so we give it another go. If it doesn't work on this next attempt, that is when we will be considering possibly a red flag and a cancellation of the race, which would be quite annoying, because we managed to squeeze in the rerun of Zandvoort last week due to a break week, so it hasn't affected when the season ends. Whereas if we have one now, this race will either have to just be a write-off, or we have to put this race at the end, added on the week after the meant to be final race. So it's yeah, let's just hope, fingers crossed everyone, that we can get this lobby going and this lobby works. Yeah, Mike said in the chat, what in the Peggy 18 did I just see? Oh, that's tickled me. That has tickled me. I like that. Very good, Mike. Oh, man. This game. Right, looks like everyone's back in, so well done, guys, everyone, for getting that sorted nice and quick, getting back in. I'm not sure what's going on here. Right, okay. I just had some weird countdown there. I'm sure you guys just saw that. I'm pretty sure that's not what normally happens. Which doesn't fill me with confidence. But anyway, here we are. Oh, the time has restarted. Maybe I just had some sort of weird timing glitch. So we are back in. Let's give this another shot. So, while we're waiting for the drivers to all get back out on the track, I will quickly run through again the standings for you all, so it's just out there and it's just done. It's quick. Someone seems to have got out. It's Evans Joshua this time, out just before Kieran. So yeah, let me just quickly run through the standings again so you've all got it. It's ERT on 256 points, followed by QRT on 250 points. Juventus Racing JR on oh, what's happened here? Did it not? Am I losing the plot? I'm sure Evans Joshua was out, wasn't he? Oh god, this game, honestly. I might be losing the plot, but... Juventus Racing on 218 points, VRT on 195, BNLRE on 190, Team as 144, Red Dragon Racing on 116, IRT on 114, tight one there, CPI on 64, and the new team, the RTR guys, Race Concept, are on 14 points, and they've only driven in one round so far. So there you go. That is the standings done. We know where we are. Also, another fact: Kieran can win the drivers' championship. Basically, it's completely separate. You don't get anything for it. It's just something that we celebrate the driver that has done the best overall in the season, and he can pick that up today. I think everyone would agree he has been the driver of the season. Obviously 2 races to go, but out of 8 rounds he has won 5 of those, which is just a scintillating season, let's be honest. No one can really argue. And he seems to have found, at ERT, they seem to have found a teammate in Timo, who seemed to have stepped up a little bit within the last few races, and has helped ERT really cut the gap down to QRT and now lead the championship by 6 points. So good for them, because Kieran, yes, he was winning races, but it wasn't going to be enough. It's a team game, and you need to have your second driver pulling in a wealthy bit of points alongside the wins to be able to get your team in a championship fight, and that is what they definitely are in. So we saw Kieran done a 132.4 in that first run, and it was only, I can't remember now. I can't remember who it was. Someone, it might have been Baki, but someone done a 132.8. They were the only other driver to get into the 32s. So Kieran has done 132.5 this time. So he's lost a couple hundredths there, maybe just hundredth and a half. And there you go, Timo slotting in again with a 33.2. Let's see, JR guys are coming round the corner as IRC Leo goes 5th, Baki goes in 2nd, and JR Damage goes, overtakes his teammate into 2nd. We have 3 drivers into the 32s this time. And there's Dara, QRT Raikio, aka Dara, up into 2nd, 32.7. He is someone that can definitely compete or push Kieran, that's for sure. Time's coming in. Leighton with another time that's not too competitive, so we won't really look at that into too much detail. Max Geist is a driver that can and has been on the podium this season. I think Sieb just jumped up into P5, sorry, but Ghost King has now jumped in. VRT Dirk is kind of around the final turn. He jumps up into second, 32.6. Should have gone on board with that one. And also QRT Twist, only P9 for him right now. I'm sure he'll be wanting to improve on that. Here comes Max Geist. What can he do? Just outside of the 132s. So he's slotting in to P7. Last few drivers coming around now. RCR Loke goes into P14. CPI Zeno and Josh are mowing grass at the moment. So let's go on board with RCR Tipple. Let's go and watch him, see what he's going to do. Obviously, as I said, they've only done one race, the RCR guys. I wasn't here for that race, so I'm not sure what they're like. So this will be a good sort of race for me to sort of just see as a team what they're like. This may not be their strongest pairing. I don't know anything about the team, as much as maybe you guys don't. You might have watched the stream last week with James. But it'd be an interesting one to see how they do here. He's not on a competitive lap, so none of these guys are on a competitive lap at the moment. Evans Joshua's actually lost his front wing, so. And I did see Mike say both the Red Dragon Racing drivers actually had to drop out of this one. So Hookie and Evans Joshua have been brought in last minute. So for them, not a lot of prep going into this one. They'll look to just want to have a solid race really, and just pick up a decent haul of points combined. And IRT Leo's the only one currently out on the track, as everyone's now back into the pits. Niels is in the chat. Thank you for joining, Niels, and having a good old chat. Dirk P2 with a 0.8. He's gone better than that. He's 0.6. Oh no, you said before. Yeah, you're meaning about before, yes. On the first lobby, Dirk was P2 with a 0.8, so he's managed to improve on that first time. And Niels also said, nice one from Damage, yeah. Good time from Damage there. JR, exactly what they need. They need to just have a really strong race up at the top, and they need the ERT and QRT boys to do the complete opposite, to have a bit of a mare, a bit of a hard race today. So JR though should just focus on their performance tonight, just focus on themselves, do the best they can, because that's all they can control really. It'll be great. It'll be great to see that, though. Not that I would want a team to not do well, but it would be great. Imagine if JR do really well here, and ERT and QRT have a bit of a slip up, and then you've got like a three-way fight going into that final round for the Prem 2 Championship. It would be crazy. It'd be all sorts going on. As the IRT Leo takes a little bit of a spin. I think he's kept out of the wall. He has. He's probably a bit fuming with himself there, or a little bit lost as to how he's managed to let that happen. But he seems to be all good. No damage, but those tyres might have taken a bit of a beating, so he could come into the pits at the end of this lap. Trying to see who's on a lap. One Pasanana I'm probably saying that wrong, completely wrong. Not someone of Team 1 I've seen before. One Ghost King I have seen before. Very solid driver, always sort of in and around the top 10. But Pasanama I have not seen before, so intrigued to see what this member of the one team can do. Currently sitting in a very respectable P12 at the moment. I'm sure his target will be to get in the top 10 and try and push for the top 5. Whether he can do that in that green Aston Martin is another question. Got to nail this lap. Thank you, more people joining the stream. Please do interact, comment, say hello. Let me know I'm on my own tonight, so interact, let me know your thoughts and feelings going into this one. As we see Pasanama go up to P8. Solid attempt from the Team 1 man. As Timo is coming in, I see a CPI member. Leighton is going to set a competitive time here, and it's a 1:33.9. Just jumps ahead of his teammate. Tundikip might have made a mistake on that lap, so he's aborted that one. One Ghost King has jumped up into P2. I'm seeing a VRT man of Max Geist. Can he improve? Raikko's out. Raikko is out, aka Dara. He is out of qualifying. His VRT Dirt goes fastest. Wow, look at that. A 10th. Here or thereabouts, a 10th faster than Kieran. JR Damage also noticed him going up into the 32.5s as well. So it's very tight between these three at the top. One Ghost King not too far behind as well. Is Backy on the lap? No, he's not on the lap. Seeb, are you on a lap? No, I think we've seen most people. Actually, QRT Twist is coming up to the end of his second run. Can he get into that top 10? He can. It's a 1:33.1. He jumps Timo, who looks to have aborted his attempt. CPI Zeno is also coming into the pit. Josh has invalidated. The only man not to set a time so far is RCR Tipple. So let's stay with him. I believe he is on a lap, but I wonder what happened to Dara there. I wonder what happened to Dara. It was in this sector here. He's made a mistake somewhere, and it's cost him the rest of this session. Neil says, let's go Damage. He's happy with that one. Niels, you must be a JR man, Juventus Racing man, so he's wanting to see the light blues of the Alpines going further up. As RC Tipple puts himself on the board, and it's P13 for the RCR man. His teammate, though, is cutting the grass. Had a little bit of a spin. Oh, might have been in the way there, thank God. That he went, I can't even think of the word. That he went invisible. There's a different word for it. I can't think of the word right now. I'm having a bit of brain. VRT Tico says Dirk, so he's happy with that. He's happy to see Dirk on the top step. Let's come forward with Tiffle as he's making his way around. And Neil said it would be nice if he does that in the race. So JR Damage wants this. Niels wants to see JR Damage up there, competing at the front of this race. So we have got some interesting fights going on, like VRT versus BNLRE. At the moment, VRT are looking in a very good position with their fight with BNLRE for that fourth. They could catch JR possibly and get third. That's definitely not impossible, but it is a lot. So at the moment, I'm sure they'll just focus on doing the best they can and just seeing what happens. And then you've also got a bit further down, Red Dragon Racing and IRT are very close together as well in the standings, so it'd be good to see what they can do at the moment. Red Dragon Racing, obviously, as Mike said, 2 drivers that have been called in last minute, so it's not ideal for them, but they've got to do what they can, and Sieb is currently up there in those, the highest of those in those respected teams. I'm trying to see who's, is it Hooky? Yeah, it's Hooky. It's Hooky who's the first one out, so we'll go on board with Hooky. So everyone now is getting out for their final runs. Just RCR Tipple and Raikio. Raikio obviously not in this session anymore. Crashing out. Is RCR Tipple going to get out just in time? He might. He might. It's going to be close for Tipple. But Hooky is going to be the first man to ride on board with the Red Dragon Racing driver. This could be a scintillating end to this qualifying session here in the Circuit of Americas. We haven't seen Kieran improve on that first run time. Second run obviously didn't manage to land the lap, but we know what he can do. In that first lobby, if you weren't with us, we had a restart because our first lobby had an issue, and Kieran laid down a 32.4 on his first run, so we know Kieran's got it in him to improve. Is he saving his best till last? It all comes down to the final attempt. Can you make the lap stick? We're going to see what Hooky's doing relative to his current time. He's 2.5 minutes down, or up, whichever way you want to look at it. He's doing better than his current best. And here he comes. Tipple made it across the line, so Tipple will be the last driver across the line. Here comes Hooky. 34.9, he improves. Loic improves to P14. We've got to find out who that is. It's Leo coming up to the line, managing to keep his car on track this time. Evans Joshua isn't though, he's out. 12th for Leo. BNLRE iShawk picks up some places back. He stays in 5th. JR Damage 32.3. What can Toonkip do? He stays where he is. We've got one driver coming around the final turn. It's One Ghost King. He's invalidated. He is out of this session. The VRT guys are out. Dirk is out. He's invalidated. Max Geist coming around the final corner. What can Max Geist do? Up into P4. Pasanama for Team 1 stays in P8. It's a slight improvement. Kieran has invalidated. He's not going to be improving his time. Timo is. He's up to P8. Sieb stays where he is in P11. CPI Zeno stays in 18th. Leighton pits. Tipple comes around the final corner, and it's P14 for him. So JR Damage is the man to pull it off from P3. He jumps Dirk and Kieran, and he takes pole position here at the Circuit of Americas. There you are, JR Damage with the pole position. VRT Dirk will be lining up alongside him. And Kieran in P3, Max Keys P4, Ghost King 5, Baki in 6th, Raikyo crashing out in 7th, Timo in 8th, Pasanamar in 9th, iShock in 10th. Then comes Seeb, Twist, Leo, Tipple, Loic, Tundikip, Leighton, Zano, Evans Joshua and Hookie respectfully. I'll be right back with you. Just going to get myself a bit more drink for this race. Don't go anywhere. Go on. Here we are then. 5 lights. And away we go in the circuit of the Americas. As Damage got a good start, he has, and Kieran behind hasn't got a great start. Dirk has got a better start though up the inside, but the switchback from JR Damage is beautiful to take back P1. And Kieran and Dirk are fighting in the background, and Kieran's managed to force his way up. I thought he was going backwards, but here he is in P2. I don't think there's been any collisions further down. It's tight in that midfield area. As I say that, there is a yellow flag. Tundikip and Leighton at the back. It's a VSC. Wow, look at that. Let's show you the tyres, everyone that is starting. Leighton and Tundikip going round, but it looks like they're back on the back of everyone. I'm not sure if there's any damage to them at the back. There's still a VSC at the moment, so not going anywhere right now. As you can see, the ERT man of Kieran has gone for the alternate strategy compared to his team, to his rivals around him. Everyone else pretty much on the hards. We're trying to time this. You've got to be really careful with the VSC. You don't want to go too early. No drive-throughs, which is really good. Everyone's timed it well. Yeah, what a switchback from Damage at the start. That was a beautiful switchback. It looked like Baki, Dirk had got the better of him, but doesn't seem that way. Talking of Baki, he is in the pit with a bit of damage. Here goes Kieran down the inside of Damage. And Kieran has retaken the lead from Damage. That lead only lasting for a lap, and Kieran, normality resumes for him, but we do expect that. He's on the alternate strategy on the faster medium compound tyre, whereas his rivals are all on the hards, so we might not see any more action up here as Kieran looks to get away, and he'll be pushing to get out of the DRS to Damage. We've got a spinner a bit further back. It's Leo who has taken a little bit of the spin. Max Geist pushing hard. And everyone still in this midfield actually. Timo, I believe, might look at the position changes. Timo's up 1. It's Twist actually, who's up 4 further down. Zeno, Evans Joshua up 5. Hooky up 4 due to a few spins and pits. A bit of damage there. So relatively not a massive amount of movement off the start here, but it was all going off at the front of the field on that start, and we're seeing some more yellow flags. Is Evan Joshua around, or is he okay? I think someone's just slightly gone round somewhere maybe. And Kieran, look at that, he's already near, coming close to 2 seconds gap, so he's got out of the DRS, which is what he wanted, and he's now going to push nice and hard on those medium tyres. So here we go. First bit of DRS for these drivers is Max Geist in a position to be able to make a move on Ghost King. Unfortunately, this is quite a long DRS train at the moment, so it's going to make it difficult for overtakes, or as he gets very close to the back of that Ferrari. And we're seeing Loic making a move on Sieb there. Sieb not having the DRS. I saw that out of the corner of my eye. He was over a second behind Pasanama, and that has cost him a position as RCR Loic takes the opportunity and moves himself up into 10th. If you can hear my cat, he's just very, very excited for this race, so you can't blame him. You cannot blame him. This is going to be a great one. But apologies if you do hear my cat currently meowing. He will settle down in a few minutes. Yeah, sorry, he just wants to be a co-commentator. It's the career he wants. And we're seeing QRT Twist. Timo's in a bit of a QRT sandwich here. And this is the battle for the championship, the Premier 2 championship. Someone has said go to Zeno. JR Christian wants us to go to Zeno. I can, but he's not really in any action at the moment, as we just see Pasanama got the inside of Max. So Max got a bit of damage maybe? Possibly has a bit of damage. Don't know. Raikio making a move on Ghost King down the inside using the DRS. Ghost King coming back for the switchback. This is what we're going to see a lot today. The battles around this final sector. I love it. I think it's brilliant. It brings out some really good racing. And Raikio does get that position. Ghost King fighting as best as he could, but unable to do anything about it. Further down, C making the move on Max Geist. Max is dropping. Is there damage? There is. He's lost an end. He's got to come in, surely. But that is a big letdown. Starting on those hards, you do not want to be pitting off of those hards at this point in this race. That is really going to damage VRT Max Geist now. He's going to be hoping, fingers crossed, for a safety car to be able to bring him back into this one. And as you can see, top 9 are still all within a second, apart from Dara to JR Damage and Dirk. So there's only a slight small gap there. So we'll keep an eye on some of these as we go down again into the DRS zone. And here we are, QRT Twist having a look. Oh, he's been pushed. This is a fight for the championship. They're going wheel to wheel here. No love lost here between the two drivers. They know what's up for grabs. The championship really depends on what happens here. It's a big race. Big race. Both teams are wanting to get the better of each other. So I can definitely see both of these fighting hard. There's going to be no love lost there. No easy overtakes. But QRT Twist is going to have, as he's being squeezed to the inside, and there's contact. There's contact. That was always going to happen. Just the squeezing too much there. And there's a VSC. That was too much squeezing. Way too much squeezing from Timo there, I'm afraid. I don't know what you expected. I mean, you can squeeze, but to carry on just consistently squeezing, eventually you're gonna have some contact. And that is Timo without a front wing. On the hards as well, he's gonna have to pit off of those hards. That was, for me, that was a silly move. I am just a commentator, so I'm not always right. And don't take my opinions as the right opinions. I'm just putting my opinions out there. Unfortunately, CP Leighton has retired in the pits. That's not what we want to see, Leighton. Not what we want to see at all. So that is a real shame that he's come to the decision of retiring in the pits. And this is quite a long VSC. I wonder if anyone may take advantage. I mean, the only guys that probably would take advantage is maybe the medium runners. It doesn't really help anyone, to be honest, in terms of changing up strategy as we go green flag again. And one Ghost King is looking at QRT Raikio now. He's not too far off him. RCR Loic and Pasanama are getting closer. QRT Twist as well. That's not a good angle, but oh, what's happened there? He's driven QRT Twist out. Twist involved again in more drama. I don't know what happened there. Did QRT Twist go for a switchback or what? I mean, it didn't really look like Pasanama was trying to drive him off the road, but it looked like Twist was attempting a switchback, but the switch option just wasn't there. Pasanama had his car there, so and we see Seed now making the move up the inside of Pasanama, but Twist involved again. Not sure on that one. I'm going to keep my opinion to myself on that one, because that was a contentious one, as Dirk is pushing JR Damage now at the front end of the field. Someone wants to see Tundikip battling away. We're actually going to go further behind, because the RDR boys are fighting with Baki. Look at that. Josh forcing his way out the side of Baki, and now Hookie's coming in as well. JR versus RDR. I think Evans Joshua's had to give back the place, actually, because it looks like he's come off the throttle, but somehow Baki has now come out on top against the two RDR drivers. And there we are. We don't want the RDR drivers getting on top of each other. Is that a wing change for Twist? It is. He's got damage from that contact, either with Timo or Pasanama. So, JR, if you're a JR fan right now, this is exactly what you wanted to see. But unfortunately, Baki is down in 12th. You need to get Baki higher up. He's got a bit of free air now, quite a lot of free air now, so he can just sort of focus on the lap times and just keep pumping those lap times in at the moment. We'll go back to the front. Dirk again pushing JR Damage, but still no luck there. Yeah, JR Christian, I would watch Tundikip, but unfortunately he's not really in a battle. He hasn't been close enough to Zeno just yet to be able to make a move or even think about a move. So if he gets close, I will have a look for you, of course. But for now, there's quite a lot of breathing room. There's RCR Loic has made a mistake. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, but he's lost a couple of places there. It's Sieb and Pasanama. Make the most of that. It's all going on further down as well. As Security Twist is now back involved in more battles. And this time it's with IRT Leo. And Leo's not giving it up. He's fighting for points as well. They got a battle with RDR. It's both RDR drivers, and there goes Leo spinning around. Was there contact with Twist? I don't know. But both RDR drivers picking up a penalty, and now Twist versus Timo, part 2. And Leo is now coming to the pits and retired. We don't want to see these. Come on, guys. We don't want to see just giving up. There can be a safety car at any point. Racing is so unpredictable. You just got to keep going, and that's a real shame to see another driver pitting and retiring out of this one. Where's Evans Joshua going? He's going for a mow. Don't worry about the grass, Josh. I'm sure it's been cut prior to this one, as Timo's making a move down the inside of Twist, and Twist is forced off the road. And they're side by side. Here we go again. These two can't help themselves. The championship fight is really coming alive here in the Circuit of Americas. And there goes Twist down the inside of Timo. It's a great move, and he's made it stick as Timo's coming back at him, back down the inside. Look at this. This is great, great battling. After what we saw before, it didn't go well, but that is much, much better. It's hard racing, but it's respectable racing. And they're in a championship fight, and Zeno is in a spin. He's losing places, dropping down. Zeno, keep going. Do not go into those pits and retire. Do not do it, Zeno. If you're listening to me, do not do it. Zeno, don't do it. You'll really upset me. Timo fighting with Hooky now, and Basher Wheels there. He wants to get round. Evans Joshua has now retired. Come on, guys. Four retirements. It's fair enough. I know Evans Joshua was brought in last minute to replace one of the RDR guys. So I understand. The race isn't going great for him. Not a lot of practice. Oh, as Timo makes a bit of contact with the back of Hooky there. But to see 4 people within 10 laps just give up is a real shame, unfortunately. It is what it is, though. The race must go on as Timo makes his move and is ahead of Hooky, and he'll set his sights this time. He'll set his sights on getting back to where Twist is and rekindling their battles as Pasanama and Loic come in. The medium runners are done with those tyres. And as you can see now, actually, at the front, Raikio has got within the DRS. So we've got a train here of Damage, Dirk, Raikio and Ghost King battling it out currently for the podium places. Obviously, Kieran is in the lead with about 6-second lead. Just under that, actually. But he is on the alternate strategy. So we'll have to wait and see after the hards pit to see where they are in relative to the race leader. And will anyone be able to stop Kieran? Because he is a man to be beaten at the moment. But unfortunately for JR Damage has got a penalty. I believe it's just a 3 seconds. It is. Everyone currently just with a 3-second penalty that has a penalty. There's QRT Twist and Pasanama are going wheel to wheel again, getting really close on the tyres. These are the two that collided before. QRT Twist is just in and amongst it all today. He's really getting in the battles and getting physical with the rest. Not necessarily him getting physical with everyone, but most of the battles he's been involved in, there's been contact, and that's not me putting blame on Twist at all. I'm very much not on any side here. Stating what has been happening as RCR Loic. I don't know whether he's actually gaining on Timo. He did just pit onto the fresh hards, but I don't know whether he's gonna, if he's gaining on the McLaren, the ERT man, or if that's just where he's sort of come out. But for now we'll leave that, go up to the front end of the field, and these guys just seem to be happy to just sort of coast along with each other at the moment. Dirk would be the one most likely to make the move. Obviously JR Damage not within TRS of Kieran whatsoever, so does not have that drag reduction system available. But VRT Dirk still either not finding the pace to be able to have a go at getting past, or is just pretty happy to just stay where he is right now. As we see the race leader come into the pits, and I'm pretty sure it will be a set of hard tyres. So where is Kieran going to come out? It looks like he's going to come out in a pretty good spot. Look at that. Behind Sieb, but in a fair amount of clear air behind and ahead. As Tipple is another driver coming in, but he's pitting off the hards. Only 12 laps on the hards. So he's got to go 15 laps on those medium tyres. That's going to be a push. They might struggle towards the end of this race. So that's quite an early one. So we'll stay with these guys now as JR Damage takes the lead of the race. Neil says stop the count. I mean, yeah, you would be finishing first, but that time penalty would be dropping you all the way back to P4, not even on the podium for Damage. So still some work to be done for the JR driver. Backy as well in P8. I'm sure he'll be pitting within the next lap or two, unless he feels he can take those mediums long enough to put on the softs, but don't really see that happen here. It's quite hard on the tyres, I think. Circuit of Americas, as much as I can remember. It's not a race I've done recently. But right now we're in a bit of a limbo right now. There's a few drivers near each other, but no one's really taking much action. As I say that, I think Hooky might have made a little mistake, unless Tipple's made a move on him, as Tipple moves himself up into P14. Thanks everyone again for joining the stream. We're about halfway through this one, still plenty of action to come. Make sure you do like the stream. Keep chatting away in the comments. I'm on my own this evening, so do interact with me where you can, and I'll try and read out as many comments as possible. And subscribe to the League Racing TV channel so you don't miss any of the EML action and the other leagues that are broadcast over on League Racing TV. Oh, it's Ghost King. Look, Ghost King now is actually fallen away as he made a little mistake somewhere. He'll be kicking himself, because once you fall off, it does then get slightly hard to get back in, but he's decided he's had enough of the hards and he's coming in. So it's going to be the mediums for Ghost King. Let's go back to the top three. Damage, Dirk, Raikio. So we're seeing more penalties coming up. Baki is now in the pits for JR. What is he going to go on to? Because he's pitted already. So he's going on to another set of mediums. He's going to have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Baki really needs to push if he's going to get near that top 10 today. Still others to pit. But it's still going to be a job. Here we go, Dirk lining up a move. Looking for the outside. JR wants him to stay there on that outside. Wheel to wheel, here we go. Dirk still in there, but JR Damage defending really well. Is Dirk going to keep this, or is he just going to slot in? He's going to slot in. And that's some good racing, good defending there from Damage. He keeps his P1 from the flying VRT man. I think if these guys, Dirk picks up a penalty as well. I didn't see that, but Damage comes in. Is he the only one? Dirk coming in, and so is Raikio. I reckon they've all... I don't think Dirk and Raikio are maybe thinking of pitting there. I think they've jumped in as soon as they've seen the rest. And they all come out in the same exact positions. And Kieran is back. Once again, the leader of this race. Where are they going to come out relative to Ghost King? Ghost King has jumped Raikio. So Ghost King, pitting a lap earlier, has got himself ahead of the QRT man, and his tyres are going to be that much warmer. To the guys around him. As we see QRT Twist moving up ahead of Seeb, who just pitted, so just got him on his exit. As Ghost King now picks up a penalty. Penalties coming in. This is all playing into the hands of Kieran, who, yes, has an 8.7 second gap, sorry, not penalty. As we see Ghost King now making the move on Dirk. Up the inside, is Dirk going to try and fight this back? No, he's not. He's just going to slip in for now and hold tight, but that's Ghost King up into P3. But as I was saying, this is all slipping into the hands of Kieran, who doesn't have a penalty, has a 9-second gap to these guys, and is looking pretty comfortable here. These guys really need to do some fine work on these medium tyres if they're going to be able to get close to Kieran. Kieran once again just absolutely flying. I'm surprised more of them haven't thought of just going onto the alternate strap, because that just seems like Kieran's strategy just seems to be going on the alternate, getting a very good start, breaking away, getting out of the DRS before DRS is even available, as Baki sets a new fastest out of 1:35.7. That's a very good lap from him. And then once Kieran's sort of away, he's in free air, he's not battling. Whereas these guys, all staying on the same compounds at the start of the race, they're all battling with each other. They're all battling for position. So I don't know, maybe something for the other teams to think about going into the final race next week. Think maybe what's the others going to do, as Seed is now looking to make a move on QRT Twist on those fresh mediums. Seed up into P7, as I think we might see a move just behind as well. Timo eyeing up Pasanama. Not able to get the move done though, just slots in behind, stays patient for now. Knows that if he stays in that DRS, he will get a shot at getting ahead of that one driver. I don't know, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think teams need to be more daring with their tyre strategies? Oh, as we see Loic. No, not Loic. It's Tipple making a mistake. Not for the first time there either. Seems to struggle on that long right-hander. And he's had a bit of a spin and he's dropped a few places as Timo has pitted now. He's going to come out just behind Ice Short. Should be ahead of Tiffle. Yeah, just ahead of Tiffle. So Timo out in P14. Niels has said they tried it last week. Okay, so I missed that, so I wasn't here last week. But the VRT guys tried it last week, going on the alternate strat, the same as Kieran or the ERT team have been doing recently, and it didn't work. It's interesting. I feel if you just have the driver that has the pace to just be able to push, get away from everyone else. Oh, sorry, JR, sorry, apologies, Neil. JR tried it last week and didn't work, not VRT, apologies. That's my mistake. But yeah, I feel like if you do have someone that's got a lot of pace and can break away, it's just worth the risk taking it, I think. If you can get out of that DRS, stay out of the DRS, you don't have to battle, you're not losing time. It could work, as we see Sieve making more moves, making his way up as QRT Twist has pitted as well. Still no safety car. Him and sort of Backy as well, I think, and Timo all really do need a safety car. Starting to run out of time though, as we're getting towards the latter stages of this race. Sieve looking pretty good, but now he's got 9-second gap to the guys in front. So Sieve might have to settle for 6th here. But these guys ahead could battle. They're 4 drivers. As soon as 2 of them start battling, one's either going to get them out of DRS or another one behind is going to get involved. So if Sieve can keep up his lap times, then he'll definitely have a chance. So we're going to get on board with Timo. We'll probably see a move here on Ice Short. He has the DRS, fresh medium tyres against old hards, and that's Timo up into P13. So Niels, thank you for interacting. You've been good company this evening. But he said that last week the problem was JR went on the same sort of alternate strategy as the ERT guys or Kieran, but there was a safety car, at least one safety car. So yeah, it definitely depends if there's going to be a safety car. Timo, oh dear, Timo has had a mistake. No, Timo's had a spin, I believe, coming off of the final turn. I'm just seeing to see if he has any damage. Checking gaps at the front, see if there's going to be any moves. I think there might be... Ghost King is getting very close to JR Damage here. JR Damage flashing. That battery might not be looking so good, but then all of these guys are probably using a lot of battery at the moment. Ghost King getting very close to the back of that Alpine, but no moves as of yet. But yeah, Niels, I do agree. One safety car can ruin it. So yeah, it's just a risk, isn't it? It is a big risk to take. And for Kieran especially, at least a few of his races has just paid off taking that risk. But it can go wrong. It can go wrong. It's just the fortunes just have to be with you. You just have to have the luck. Dane asks, is there points for every position? Yes, there is. Every position if everyone finishes the race. So those that have retired themselves, Leighton, Leo, Evans, Joshua and Zeno, won't get points because they have retired from the race. So as long as you finish the race, you're taking home some points for your team. Which is why we hate to see drivers retiring, because if you're retiring, you're just not going to get the points. Like, you're missing out on 3 points. You might be really far off the back, but you're still going to get some points on the board for your team. And that's what matters at this point, as these three looking really racy now. This is gonna get spicy. I can feel it. Get your popcorn out, boys. This is gonna get fun. There we go, Dirk up the inside. Oh, wheels locking there with Ghost King. Ghost King looks like he's going to be able to hold on to it unless Dirk King can go around the outside. He's virtually pushing that Aston around this track now. As they both go a little wide there as well. JR Damage not able to make the most of it and get out of the DRS though, so these guys are still here on the back of that Alpine car. But they're getting racy now. They're getting racy. These guys getting a bit closer again. Back in one Passanama off the road. He's not moving. What has happened to Passanama? Oh, this is not what you want to see. He was having a strong race and he's been disqualified. Oh man, that's sad to see. I wonder if his controller's disconnected or his wheel or something. I don't know if he's a wheel or a pad. But it's a real shame to see him out of this race. He was having such a strong race. Oh man, that's gutting. That is really gutting. Yeah, Dane said Hookie the Trooper, exactly. I've got a lot of respect for Hookie here, just carrying on. He's 22 seconds off the next driver ahead of him, but he's still going, still going to be getting the points for his team. Hookie, what a man. And, oh yeah, Timo pitted again, so he must have either had damage or just burnt up those tyres too much. And has decided to go for a pair of softs to try and get the fastest lap. I don't know if he has managed it. I need to see. There we go. He has got it. 135.1. He's just smashed it out the park. These guys up here still sitting behind each other. We had that sort of a little bit of a ding-dong with Dirk and Ghost King, but apart from that, still just sitting behind each other for now. Penalties. Kieran's picked up a penalty, but of course the guys behind, apart from Raikyo, have all got penalties as well, so Kieran can actually afford to just take that penalty and just be like, yeah, I'm still good. Raikyo, all he really has to do here is stay within DRS, stay with these guys, and he's picking up a P2 for QRT, so I don't blame him for actually not really trying to. He might be trying to really get ahead of these guys, but realistically, with 4 laps to go, is he going to be able to... Oh, we're seeing a nice little battle at the back here. Hooky and Timo going at it at the back. Timo up the inside. Hookie's going to try and stay there, fighting for every position, but Timo comes through and takes P14. Oh, Ghost King getting very close now, and he's made a dive. He's made a dive for it up the inside, and he's picked up another penalty for it. He's cut that corner, just trying to gain the position. It looks like he's going to gain it, unless Damage can hold out on the outside here, but he's forced to give that one up. Ghost King moves up into P2, but at what cost? It's another penalty for him. So now he's going to have to try and get away from these guys. He's going to have to try and pull 3 seconds on JR. And that's not going to be easy. Is JR going to go back in for it? I mean, he doesn't really need to. Now that Ghost King has that extra penalty, he can just stay there and he's still getting P2. Not P2, sorry, P3, because Raikyo currently doesn't have a penalty. Let's just have a look. Let's just give a little bit of airtime to Kieran. He doesn't get a lot of airtime because he's... Oh, I missed something. As soon as I go to Kieran, I missed something. Ghost King's made a mistake. And JR Damage has got ahead. Is that a double move? That might have been a double move. Dirk looking for the move on Ghost King now. Ghost King really struggling. There he goes again. Losing the grip. He's dropped back. Raikyo now making a move on Dirk. Dirk's going to fight it though. But he's forced out. He's forced out. And Dirk's lost the position to Ghost King now as well. A right ding dong. Can't believe I looked at Kieran as soon as Ghost King made that mistake. But Ghost King seems to be struggling for grip. He pitted a lap before the guys around him, so is that damaging the rest of his race here? Oh, we got a yellow flag. Is it iShawk? I think iShawk might have just had a spin somewhere. He's on 20 lap old hards. Wow, he's really taken those tyres to great lengths. Fair play to iShawk for that. They must be in a horrible state, those tyres. Here we go again. I'm going to change this to penalties now so you guys are aware. Don't really need to know the tyres at this stage of the race. But these guys still pushing each other as iShawk picks up another penalty. 9 seconds for the BNLRE guy. driver, sorry, right now. Apparently the chat has turned into a Dutch chat, so I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But we might not see any more battles from these four now. Like, the penalties are just going to pave their way, really. The only two that can really battle for position is JR Damage and Dirk. But Ghost King and Raikko are sandwiched in between. So, not sure we're going to see any more moves. I believe someone is in the pits. Looks like it's iShawk. It is iShawk. So he's coming in, maybe to try and get a fastest lap attempt. But he's going to be under pressure because he's come out just ahead of Timo. And they are battling, actually. And he's let Timo go. So losing a position there. So we start our final lap. Thank God it's the final lap because my voice is starting to go. And Kieran is on his way to his 6th victory here, as long as he gets this car round. We'll go with Kieran now as Dirk picks up another penalty. So, Damage looks like he's gonna definitely pick up that P3 as long as everything goes smoothly for the remainder of this lap. But Kieran, well, what can we say about Kieran? I don't know if we have any more words to describe Kieran. He's just really in some good form right now, hitting a real purple patch in this EML season. I'm just going to go on board with Dirk just to see if he'll make a final move, and he has a little look, but it's not going to be there. ERT Kieran rounds the final corner to take his 6th win of the season and wins for ERT. JR Damage is going to come home in P2 but will drop to P3. It's Raikko who takes P2. Ghost King in P4, VRT Dirk in P5. Well done those four, they had some brilliant racing in that, it was great to watch. Seeb only just missing out on P5 there. It's a good effort from Seeb, finishing in P6. Backy picking up P7, that's a decent result for JR. QRT Twist recovering to a PA. Max Geest also recovering to a P9. RCR Loic finishing in the top 10. Then will come Tundikip. RCR Tipple will finish in P12. BNLRE iShawk, who I believe is going for a fastest lap, but I think Timo's trying to put him off as much as he can. Trying to battle him. Timo will take the position because of 9 seconds that iShawk has in penalties. Whether iShawk is going to take the fastest lap here, I'm not sure. Timo diving it down the inside, really trying to put him off and make him not get the fastest lap. He doesn't get the fastest lap. Timo finishes in P13, and Hookie I think just took P14 off of Ice Short, so Ice Short finishing up in P15 in the end. But there we go, Kieran has won the Drivers' Championship in Premier 2. He's been the best driver. I don't think anyone can disagree with that one. With his 6th win out of 9 races this season. Incredible, incredible drive from him this season. And he's got one more to go. Can he make it 7 race wins? Everyone else will be hoping not. They will want to take that race win at the end. But there he is with his trophy. But like we said at the start, JR needed QRT and ERT to have a bit of an off day. And they have slightly. QRT Twist coming to blows with Timo, that championship battle really coming onto the track, making contact. Twist also had a bit of contact as well with I can't remember his name now. Where is he? Pasanama. And he finished up in P8, and then Timo finishing in P13, although getting the fastest lap, so recovering an extra point there. So we'll have to see. I'll let you know next week where JR are. I reckon they are in there. I reckon they have a chance at the championship. They'll need another off day for these guys, for the ERT and the QRT boys. But their championship hopes are definitely still alive. It's going to be a big ask for them, but as long as they just focus on themselves, stay out of trouble, anything is possible. So what the final race we will have, it's going to be ERT versus QRT for the championship, with JR in there as well, potentially. So it could be a three-way fight for the championship. And we've seen the main 2 championship contenders, ERT and QRT, come to blows in this one. So it's really, really starting to heat up in Premier 2. Diego Zorzo said, how many points is QRT behind ERT? They were 6 points behind at the start of this race, but ERT finished 1st and 13th, and QRT I believe finished 2nd and 8th. So it's going to be close. It's going to be really close still going into this last round. So make sure you subscribe to the League Racing TV channel so you don't miss that final race next week here in Premier 2. It's going to be an absolute belter. I cannot wait. It's going to be great, great fun. As we head to Brazil, what a final race to have for the championship decider in Sao Paulo, Brazil. A track where you can make so many moves. It's going to be a really good one. Make sure you subscribe to League Racing TV so you don't miss it. Like the streams, like this stream right now. And I will be there with you next Wednesday for the finale of EML Premier 2. Who's going to take the championship? Join me next week, 8 PM UK time. For now, have a lovely evening. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. And I will see you for the finale of Premier 2 next week. Goodbye.